I'm going to go through my top 8 suggestions for things that you need to do before you move to Spain and after, and I'm going to go in order. Okay, so we're going to start out with health insurance. I'm going to just show you what we use. We use MAPFRE. What I did before we got our visa was I got 3 quotes, and basically I chose the most affordable option. And in the 4 years we've been here, they have not raised our rates very much. So I've seen online where some people have had rates increased by the hundreds or even €1,000 per year over time, but that has not happened for us. Our rates actually, in some cases, have gone down yearly. So it might go up 100, down 100, up 100, down 100, but essentially it is the same now as what it was then. Okay, next thing. So that's private health insurance when you're applying for your visa. Then you will need to think about banking from the United States. You want to make sure that you open up a Capital One 360 checking account because it's free online checking. You can use, there's no ATM fees. They will show you right here, no fees, no minimums, no overdraft fees, and there's no international transaction fees. So if you use your ATM card here in Spain, you won't have any fees for doing that. You will have a fee that the ATM itself might charge you that you're receiving, but you won't have a fee from Capital One. If you don't know how to get out of the fee at the ATM, when it asks you, do you want to convert? Do you want to pay this conversion fee at the ATM? You say no. But again, that's not going to be Capital One charging you. That's going to be the bank who owns the ATM that's charging you. You tell them no, and then they will still give you your money, but they'll give you your money at a lower rate. Okay, on to the next thing. I'm going to show you proof that there's no international fees at the ATM. Okay, this is one of their benefits. So that's Capital One 360. I probably have a link in the description, but that's not why I'm telling you this. This is just my suggestions as I see the questions asked all the time. But okay, then the credit card that I use that people often want to know about travel points, using a credit card internationally. Again, no international fees, and you can use it in Spain with no problem. Okay. And it gives you the points, no annual fee. So I like this card for that. And you collect the points. And some people want to know about what credit card should they have. And I've never had any problems using this card. Securing hotels, flights, etc. I can do it all with this card. I've never had a single issue. And they don't charge any extra international fees for their, like conversion rates and stuff like that. That stuff doesn't happen on this card, and no annual fee. Okay, so you're going to want to set those 2 things up in advance of leaving because you want to get your card in the mail. And then the health insurance you need before you apply for your visa. So then you need to think about your mail. Where are you going to receive your mail at? Maybe you have a family member or a friend that you can trust, but maybe you don't. So I have received my mail for 6 years at this company called USA2me.com, and they are located in Houston, Texas. I have everything sent there, including like IRS mailings. I mean, everything that I do now has this address on it. I don't have any problems with the banks. If I go into a bank to change my address and they don't want to accept it, then I just don't change the address at that time to this address. But I think I only had one bank account that had a problem with that. All my other bank accounts, I was able to update with this address with no problem. So that's for 6 years, over 6 years that I've had this. I have used their scanning service where they will scan the mail for you and send it to you, and I pay a small fee for that. I've had the mail sent to me through like DHL or FedEx. I've had it sent to me when I lived in Mexico, had it sent to me when I lived in Spain. And then sometimes when I go back to the US, I will have it sent to me wherever I'm at there, and I have never had any issue with them. They're very responsive in email, but you just want to make sure you sign up before you leave. And then this will give you your US address in a state that has no state taxes. You don't have to worry about magically becoming a state resident through this mail. Good service and good customer service. Okay, and also I can see they collect your mail and then they will post a picture of the front of your mail. And then if you want them to open it and send it to you, they can send it to you as a scan, or after a few months, you can collect your mail and have it sent to you, or you can tell them to throw it away. So I pay a yearly fee. I just have it put on my credit card, so I don't have to worry about paying it, and when it's coming out and whatever. And And then I pay the extra for the scan if it's needed, but no problem. I have it sent to me maybe, I don't get a lot of mail anymore and most of it's junk mail, but if it's something important over time, maybe once a year, I have the mail sent to me, or when I go back to the United States, I'll collect it, have it sent to me where I'm at. But most of the things, I just tell them to throw it away. Moving on. Now, how can I keep my US cell phone number? This is where you want to go to Google. Go to Google and type in port your Google Voice number and find these directions. This is going to help you. It's going to allow you to keep your US phone number in Spain. You pay one fee. Here you will see it's $20, one time $20 fee. You port your phone number over to Google Voice. And then once you do that, it's going to cancel your current cell phone service. So you don't want to do it and you don't want to do it too far in advance. Okay. You want to do it because you're going to need to use Wi-Fi and data in order to use Google Voice while you're in the United States, because you're not going to have a SIM card unless, yes, there's exceptions to everything. Yes, you can go buy an eSIM and have that coverage locally with like a different US phone number. But what people usually do to make it as simple as possible is maybe 3 or 4 days in advance before you're going to leave, you port your current cell phone number that is with your current US service. Let's say you're with Verizon. You port your cell phone number to Google Voice following the directions that are online. And then it will, once it goes through, it will automatically disconnect from Verizon. Make sure that that's all canceled. So you no longer have that fee. You've paid $20 for Google Voice. And now when you're on data or Wi-Fi, you can use Google Voice to make your phone calls with your same number. You now own your phone number. It doesn't belong to Verizon anymore. When you get to Spain, you're going to want to get a cell phone, which I'm going to get into that next. So Google Voice, Google the directions, and you'll be able to see what to do. And I'm sure there's tons of tutorials online. Okay, once you get into Spain, you can open up a bank account with N26. You can do this with your phone from your Airbnb or your apartment. As soon as you get here, use the address of where you're staying. You have to have a European address. You cannot do this from the United States unless you already have a European address. Okay. So you get here, you get your European address. Why do you need this account? Because you need an ES bank number. Here they use IBAN, something that we don't use in the United States. Here you're constantly giving out your bank account IBAN number to everyone for everything. And at first it feels very uncomfortable, but you will be giving out your NIE number and your bank account number like candy here. And it feels completely unnatural to what we're used to doing in the United States and how secretive we are about everything. But here it's like you giving it out to everybody. So this is how they do bank transfers. So in order to pay rent, in order to get a cell phone, in order to get your electricity, water bill, internet, anything done, you're going to need this. And if you go to a regular bank, they're going to make you go through all of these hoops, and they're only going to give you a non-resident account, and there's probably going to be fees. With this company, it's very easy. You can do it on jet lag. You can do it at any time of the day. You just use your cell phone right from where you're at. You don't have to go into an office. You don't have to deal with that language barrier. So it's very easy just to sign up with your phone online. And then once you're done with that, the cell phone company that we use locally in Spain is DIGI. Here you can see that they have many different plans and internet and cell phone with TV options. I've already shared in a video what our cost is. If I remember correctly, it's around 45 euros for the two phones and the internet. And my phone actually is with unlimited data. And then my husband has something that's very high, but not unlimited, but he never exceeds it. And then we have very fast internet. I don't know what the speed is, but it's fiber, and it's I don't know which one of these, 15, 30, 60, 120. I don't know which one we have. Okay. Um, so anyways, we use DG. We used to use a different company, but this is what we use now because of the cost. The cost was lower, so we switched. Not every city in Spain has DG, so you might have to make an exception. I'm just sharing what we use. We used this as when we were in Madrid, they were installing it there, and we were in the process of switching. And then when we got to Zaragoza, they had it. So one thing you can do when you're looking for an apartment rental, find out in advance if DG is in the city. If it is in the city, ask the realtor, is DG here? Do they already have lines installed? You want to find out who the neighbors are using for their internet service, or look for the DG boxes that will be connected to the building. Okay, so now After you have had your health insurance and you have your US bank account with no international fees, and you have your mail arranged in the United States, and you've ported your phone number, and now you come to Spain and you have opened up your N26 bank account, and then you go to your local cell phone store and you sign up for a cell phone plan and you get your SIM card and you give them your ES number from your N26 account because that's what they're going to want to sign you up on the for the cell phone plan. And that's why you do it like that, because you need the bank account in order to start signing up for local activities, in order to start signing up for your local services, and also in order to rent an apartment, you're going to need a bank account. That's going to enable you to do all of that without your TIE, which is your tarjeta. You have your NIE and your visa. That's the number. The N is for numero. You have your number in your passport with your visa sticker in there. But when you get here, you have to go through the immigration process, the second part of it, in order to get your card. Once you get your card, it could take a few months to happen. Once you get your card, you're going to want to open up a local bank account because everything is easier with the local bank account as far as paying taxes and stuff like that. And sometimes N26 might not be accepted in some places. So this is who we use. And the reason that we use ING is because they have no commissions when you make a deposit. So it says on your in your income, what they mean is your nóminas. Let me change it to Spanish. Ingresos. Yeah, so here in Spain, a lot of bank accounts charge a monthly fee. It is what they do. It's hard to get away from it. But this specific bank, ING, and there could be others, but we signed up for this because at the time it was the only one. They will allow you to make a deposit. So let's say you have your money in your Capital One 360 account. You move it over to Wise, which I should have put Wise on here. You move it over to Wise or Revolut, and then after you do that, you move your money into ING. I think the limit is around 700 to 750 euros a month that you have to put into ING. And in doing that, it gives you free commissions, free monthly use of the account without having to charge commissions. So let me add in here to go to wise.com because this is something also that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go to Wise and open an account. And if you could just use the link in my description so I get a little commission for that. You go to Wise and use open a Wise account, and because sometimes Wise can give people problems and it's good to have two options. You always want to have a backup plan when you're living abroad. So after you've opened up your Wise account, and you can do this in Spain or the United States, it's up to you, okay? I think the more little things like this you can get done in advance, the better, but you don't have to. So then the next thing is Revolut. Revolut is very similar to Wise. Sometimes they have better rates. So this is Revolut. Let me try to put it in English. So Revolut, this is what you use. They have an app, they have a card, and contactless payments just using your cell phone with your is very using the scanning thing on your phone is very common here. Lots of people do that, or they scan their bank card. We don't do a lot of inserting of the cards here. So that's it, guys. That's it. Okay. So you have, let's do a rapid click through here as a reminder, as a review, because I'm a previous teacher. I like to do reviews. Okay. Health insurance, MAPFRE. Bank account, Capital One, because no international fees. Capital One credit card for the extra security and the points. Furthermore, we're going to go to Wise. These two accounts help you to convert your money at the lowest fee possible. Wise and Revolut. Okay. Then you want to do your mail service because you need to be able to collect your mail in the United States still. That doesn't just magically disappear. You want to port your cell phone number less than 1 week before you leave. After you arrive in Spain, you want to open up an N26 account, like day one that you arrive here, that you have recovered enough from the jet lag to function, open up this account, okay? And then at this, all the time, you're going to be able to use your Google Voice while you're in your Airbnb because they're going to have Wi-Fi at the Airbnb. So you'll be able to use your phone to be able to do that, okay? You'll be able to use your Wi-Fi to access the internet to open up this account, and you'll be able to use your Google Voice to make phone calls while you're in the Airbnb while you have Wi-Fi. But you're going to want to leave and go to the grocery store and use your phone, right? That's why you need to open up the bank account and then go to the local cell phone place and get a cell phone plan. That needs to be like two of the first things that you do when you get here. So then you go to DIGI, you can go to Orange, you can go to Lobster, which I think has a lot of English options. Orange advertises on their website that they have English customer service. So, you can use a different service if you want to, but this is just what we use, DIGI. And then we have the local bank account. This is after you have your TIE card in your hand, you go open up an account at ING. Okay, so that's it. So I said 8 things. I ended up with a couple of subs because I will make it 10 because of Wise and Revolut. And that's it, guys. So I hope this helped you and have a good day.